What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Detroit Lions. Fonza. Just finished watching the Monday night matchup between the Bengals and Steelers, one which went down to the wire. It was a pretty fun game to watch. And now for my Week 10 picks. I'll get right into it, shall we? Finally we got Thursday night coming back. Should be a good one with Atlanta and Baltimore. This should be a good one. This is really going to be good. And Falcons are at home. This is definitely going to. I see this one going down to the wire. It's two very good teams right now. They're both hot. The Baltimore defense and the Falcons, they're really good at home, and this is going to be a fun one to watch. It's going to be a very good Thursday night one. And I'm going to go with Atlanta here. This is going to be a close game, but I think Atlanta will come out on top on this one. But this is definitely going to be close, and it's going to be a good one to watch. And yeah, Cincinnati and the Indianapolis Colts. Cincinnati had a tough loss, and the Colts had a loss as well against Philadelphia with Mike Vick. It's hard to defend that guy. I think we all know about that. Not only do you have to watch him for containment, but he can also throw the ball. He's really developing. Michael Vick he's a special guy. And then you have the Jets and the Cleveland Browns. The have a few things they need to fix on, especially in their pass game, but in Cleveland, they also have a little work to do on their pass game, but both have legit run games and legit defenses. Both of the battle of the Ryans in this one, the brothers, Rex, all that stuff. So this should be an interesting game to watch, and it is in Cleveland, but I'm gonna have to go with the Jets just because of the fact that they're a little more consistent. But you never know. Cleveland's been beating some people. They've been beating some teams. They've been really coming out and surprising some teams. They're surprising me right now, but I'm gonna go with the Jets here. If Cleveland beats them, then maybe I'll really start giving them some credit. But I'm gonna go with the Jets here. Should be a close one though. It's gonna be defensive and should be a hard-hitting game. And then you have Minnesota and Chicago in Soldier Field. This should be an interesting one for the NFC North showdown. The Vikings came off of a great win. The Bears beat the Buffalo Bills, and so this is going to be it is in Soldier Field. May go with the Bears just because of the home field advantage, but it depends if the Vikings can get pressure on Color or not, which they should be able to, with the fact of the Bears' offensive line still being questionable to this point. But if they can get some pressure and keep their offense going, but the Bears have a good D, and it's in Soldier Field. I'm gonna have to go with Chicago just because of that. If it was in Minnesota, then I'd pick the Vikings. But since it's in Soldier Field, I'm gonna have to go with the Bears. But this should be a close one. I'm going Chicago there, and then you have Houston and the Jacksonville Jags. I am going to go with the Houston. Seems to be on and off again. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. I think they'll be ready for this one. It's gonna be close, but I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. They'll probably split this year. That's what I think. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville here. And then you got Tennessee and Miami. Randy Moss joining the Tennessee Titans, and then you got Brendan Marshall on the other side for the Dolphins. Dolphins came off of a tough loss. Tennessee coming off their bye. I expect Tennessee to win this one, but it should be interesting to see. It's gonna is it gonna be more of a pass? Are they gonna go more pass, or both sides more run? We'll see how that goes down, and I'm gonna go with Tennessee in that one. And then you got Carolina and Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. They did lose. They lost a close one. They put up a fight there in Atlanta. There, Matt Ryan's good at home, so it was a tough one for them to try and do. I think they should have did a quarterback sneak on that fourth down when they were down in the red zone. But what can you say? Josh Freeman's special, and I like what I'm seeing out of him. So I'm definitely gonna go with Tampa here. Keep that fire going. And then you have Kansas City and Denver. It's an Invesco Field. Then you have Seahawks in Arizona. I'm gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals in this one. This is one of the games that might be one of the more unpredictable. I don't know what to expect, but I just think Arizona is going to win this game. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. I'm just gonna pick the Giants. I don't think I need to really explain on that one, but I'm surprised they're playing each other so quick. They just got done playing, but whatever, it is what it is, right? New England and Pittsburgh, another game that should be good, and I expect the Steelers to win that one. It's in Heinz Field and should be interesting, but Pittsburgh, I think, will win that one. They got it going on defense with Big Ben and stuff. They still got to work on their offense a little bit, but I'm gonna go with the Steelers. Then you have Philadelphia and Washington on Monday night. I'm going to go with Philadelphia. I think they'll win this time, as long as Mike Vick doesn't get hurt again. I think that they might have had a better chance if he didn't go down so early in the first game, but I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. And now onto the Detroit and Buffalo game. I do believe Detroit should. I'm gonna go with Detroit in this game. They should be able to win. It was a tough loss. They had to the Jets. They just didn't finish, and Matt Stafford going down, it didn't really help. I don't know what's going on with that, but they say the future is bright for Detroit. I mean, we're improving, but if Stafford's going to be the quarterback, he can't. He's just seeming so fragile right now. It's just ridiculous. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, though. He's been having it tough, but I was surprised he went down like that. He was looking a little hurt before he actually re-injured the shoulder itself, because you could tell he was messing around with it a little bit. So you could tell it was hurting him, but I thought it was his left shoulder that got injured in week 1, not his throwing shoulder, but maybe it's still a little injured from last year. Sure. We'll see, but the future is looking bright, but it's a tough one to lose in New York, against New York and Detroit, but we'll see what happens against the Bills. I think really we need to, if Stafford's not going to be there, I think we need to try and accomplish the run game. Maybe about, I'd say 14 carries for Kevin Smith and maybe 18 for Javed, and try and get them more involved in the pass game and run maybe more screens. I like what I saw, that deep pass that Stafford threw down the field to Javed Best, even though it wasn't completed. And you're going to get some matchups right there, because Javed Best is going to burn a lot of guys. He's pure speed right there. And we'll see what happens in this next game. And it was good to see Nate Burleson step up and hold on to the ball. If they want to try and take Calvin out of the game, we need a guy to step up, and Burleson's definitely the guy to do it. So I'm picking the Lions, and I'll see you guys next time on the Detroit Lions Fonza, and leave your comments and tell me what you think. Alright, later. Tough one to pick. Broncos, I think they're better than their record is. Chiefs came off a tough one in OT against the Raiders, but I am going to pick the Chiefs here. They seem to be they know what they're trying to do. Broncos are just, they're not sure, but I'm not sure if they need to figure out what they're trying to do, because their run game, it seems like they're set up to be a run team with some defense, but their run game just isn't clicking, and Kansas City's clicking, so I'm going to pick them. But it is in Invesco Field, so maybe they get a win, but you never know, because they got the butt tapped by the Raiders at home, so can't use that as an excuse here. And then you got the Rams and the 49ers. I love what I'm seeing out of Bradford, so I'm gonna pick the Rams.